A very warm good morning to everyone. This is Shruti Anand, journalist at K12 News. A very happy Gandhi Jayanti to all our viewers. And today I'm very delighted. I'm virtually present with Miss Himangi Arora, Director Nirmukta, Nurturing Curious Mind. Hello, ma'am. Good morning. Welcome to
Good
K12
morning.
Talks 2020.
Namaskar. It's pleasure having me here because this is something very, really, really close to my heart when I address young people. Thank you so much for inviting me here, and I'm glad that you actually allowed me rather to be here on this very special day. Wish you a very very happy Gandhi Jayanti and a very very happy Shastri Ji's Jayanti as well, as we all know that it is the same day. One is the uh, eminent follower of the concept, and one was the concept himself. So I think that is what we look forward to. Thank you so much for calling me here.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much. The pleasure is all ours. On behalf of K12 News, I would like to thank you for your contribution. So, ma'am, as an educationist, how do you think that there have been a few positive impacts of the lockdown? Because there have been negative, no doubt, but what have been the positive impacts that have affected the life of students?
Shruti, glad that you asked this question, because this is one of the very prominent thing that we are looking forward to. Being an abundance mindset coach, I always tell the students and the youngsters to look forward to the possibilities, because when we talk about positive mindset and a negative mindset, the only thing that leads a positive mindset is the possibility mindset. One who's looking for the possibilities will always come out as a warrior or as a winner in any situation. So even when, as you said, that there are a lot of negatives, but there are definitely a lot of positives. And being an educationist, I definitely see it as a catalyst that has happened. That pandemic behaved as a catalyst in the education system. Why? Because specifically, if I talk about school managements and school authorities working for, day and night working for the specific kind of curriculum development and the curriculum following, there were a lot of things that were questioned earlier, but now they are not, because the parents have seen how important it is for the children to be channelized before they are actually into working. So whether you talk about activities, whether you talk about the moral stories, the importance of the storytelling, the importance of the creativity, the importance of music, art, anything that you name, because of the understanding that they were in coordination, I have found children becoming more responsible for their own acts and taking the ownership because of the flip learning that they have been doing. So I think, for me, pandemic has given us it has opened the doors for abundance of opportunities. It's just like that there was a dark corner full of different beautiful things and was actually not being shown in light. Now due to the pandemic, the spotlight has come on that. So whether you talk about art integration, you talk about inclusions, you talk about, we are working day and night for the children to get the empathy. Now empathy has come in the curriculum. So I think that is the power of the pandemic's positive approach that has been marked in the education system.
Right, ma'am. Very well said. Also, these have been the positive impact. Along with this, do you think that the syllabus deduction, because lately I have been hearing it from in the news that 30% is deduction on the 10th class syllabus, some of the deduction for the 12th class as well. So, ma'am, what are your views on this?
The syllabus deductions, if I talk about syllabus deductions, they are generally not the deductions. They are just the prioritization because of the time frame. We totally understand that it was required because there were very, a lot many things were not supposed to be done the way they were during the due course of time. And the children were, earlier they used to, the session used to start in the mid of March, after the exams were over, the provisional classes used to start. But when it comes to the year 2020, the academic 2020 session, what happened was that we were we didn't have any choice. So the syllabus that has been deducted is just the prioritization of the things that are supposed to be asked at the end of the session, and the concepts that are important for the next session. So with that also, I would say that being educationists or the facilitators or the principals, students, teachers, we have realized that education system is not about prominent objectives to be marked. It's about outcomes that we should look forward to. This outcome oriented curriculum that is supposed to be followed has whatever we are going to take from 2020. So if we are talking about the education system, if we are talking about the curriculum changes, I think this is very, very important that we should understand that the outcomes are important. And that is what the changes were made for. Whether it is English or science or maths or something, the outcomes are important. All those topics and all those chapters that were really important for a child of a 15 years or a 16 years to understand before one leads or learn to class 11th or 12th or any of the other, the progressive classes. I think those chapters and topics are included. Topics should be the quotient, not the entire chapter. That is again something which we as educationists are able to see, that the entire chapter in all should not be read, or this things can be taught in a story, then things can be taught in a way where the what do you call it, the platforms where the practical approach was taken. So I think the mixture came across in a very beautiful way, and this is how the syllabus was marked.
I I do believe that the outcomes were the things that will matter at the end of the story. The bottom line still remains the same. It's about the outcomes and the priority. So, ma'am, how do you think that the new implementations by the National Education Policy, uh, and how do you think what could be the major changes that you would, from your end, would like to suggest?
Thank you so much for asking this question, Shruti. This is definitely very, very close. Uh, if I have said that, NEP has given us abundance of possibilities. Today, when we talk about Gandhi Jayanti or when we talk about Shastri Ji's Jayanti, as I said that he was the concept. If we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, he was the concept, and Shastri Ji was an eminent follower of the concept that was marked. There was nothing, there is nothing called moderates or the communalist or politically, I don't know kya hai, but when it comes to the following of a concept, to understand the concept and implement it, I would say it was the most important aspect at that very time, and we should learn it here as well, because India being the resource for the world, I think since ages it has been. Whether you talk about the coming potential, human resource, agricultural, natural resources, mineral resources, technical resources, India in itself has been a resource. The problem has come when we have seen the inclination and the situation where we call that people who will learn from here and go out and earn, and they will try to earn for themselves, not for their nation. I believe that if we talk about motor skills, we should tell our children right from the beginning that what can be the potential of motor skill development to that very level, in that very level. For example, if I am training my child to run, the child at the age of 6 should know that there can be a possibility for him or her to be the Olympic champion at the age of 19. If the vision is clearly given to the children, then only we can think that these changes will execute and these changes will be implemented in a beautiful way. When we talk about the arts inculcations or inclusions, we should tell them that there are possibilities. The foreign countries cannot be restricted to US and Canada and different parts of Europe. There are different countries, different cities where the Indians can go and work with the potential crowd. So exchange of ideas, and if I talk about whatever you have, you should know how to exhaust it. We are the country, we are the land of agriculture, the best, one of the top 5 countries in the world who can be the best potential market as well as the resource in agriculture. Why not exhaust it? Why not agriculture be the best part to be taught in the classrooms? If if we talk about, environment day, or you must have seen what we have been doing. We were trying to plant trees, only 2 or 3 in on the roadsides. Last year when I was working for a school, I told them that you need to identify 10 plants that are air purifiers. When that very time of NCR came, jahan pe unhone kaha that because of the pollution you can't do this, you can't do that, you should not go out, you should not. So why not teach them the significance of pranayam, and why not have the plants at home? Why not do the plantation at home and understand the significance? What we have been doing in the small span of time, I won't say that India didn't have it earlier. This is the time which is clearly telling us that we need to identify our resources, we need to identify our strengths. As some would, I think, in management we say, right, that you need to work on your, you need to polish your strengths and manage your weaknesses. So if you're polishing your strengths, you have to identify them. And if you are just managing your weakness, it's okay. We are the country of diversified, states, cities, cultures. If we take it as a weakness, that is a different thing. But if we take it as a strength, then I think we are the country with 19 languages, which can be profoundly learned. मुझे बाहर जाकर फ्रेंच तक जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है अगर मेरे पास 19 लैंग्वेजेस का abundance अपने घर में.
Absolutely, ma'am. Very well said. And on this day, especially the Gandhi Jayanti, and it's a national holiday, and yet we are discussing about the secularism, the social effect factors of our country. So it's really great to hear about all this, and also inspiring because the constitution was founded on the basis of all such factors. No, the secularism, and of course, no language would be considered as the main language of this. Everyone has the right to speak the language they want to. Be it if we go to the south, if we go to the Himachals, and everyone is using their own native languages. So it's really great to hear about this, and it is really inspiring, ma'am.
Shruti, from this platform, I'll take this privilege to quote one more thing that I actually had it very clear in my head, and I'll be definitely. Last year in February, rather this year in February, we launched Swabhiman, from my company's portal itself. That was a very prominent story. I won't take much time to tell that story. But today, if I talk about education system, there was a time when India was looking forward to the literacy as an agenda, because obviously that was the need of that very hour. But today it's very important for us to understand that what education means. Education means that one should understand one's own potential and can respect the others. Spiritually we say that there is no other. The way you behave, you want the other person to behave that way, and if the way you are behaving, you should behave the way you want the person to react. So the only thing in the country where so much of diversification is there, it's very very important for us to understand that for for an educated person, it is very important to have the understanding of equity. इक्वालिटी हमारे सिस्टम में रही है, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है, हमें शोर मचाने की जरूरत नहीं थी उसके लिए कभी भी. इन्फ्लुएंसेस अलग अलग हैं और सबके अपने अपने अप्रोच भी हैं. सिचुएशन आज है जब 2020 में आप आईटी की, एआई की बात कर रहे हो, and we are facing the cases like happened in Hathras, and we should not deny that. Being a woman, me sitting in my place, and being a woman, you at sitting at that very place, education for me is something when a mother will be able to tell her boy that you have to respect whosoever you come across. And this is something NEP is laying a foundation for. The moral teaching, the value education coming in the mainstream, telling the person that, it is very important for you to behave in a certain way in the worst situation. You should not be driven by frustration. You should not be driven by the negativities. You should not be cribbing about something all the time, because the cribbing attitude, the dissatisfaction, the disappointments lead to frustration, and frustration leads to this, heinous things happening all around, and then the entire community gets, just thrashed like that. So it's very, very important for us to understand that, for for an educator, for a mother, for a woman, for a child, that I will be called educated only once I will be able to respect somebody for the way who the person is. I cannot just impose my frustrations. I cannot just impose my, you know, this all is happening because of the lack of empathy as well as the neglection. We don't like talking about things, and that is what NEP is giving us as the, possibility that you should be talking about things. You should be looking forward to things. I was talking about the awareness programs that we are running. 2020, we are talking about menstrual health. Imagine. And it's a worldwide problem. It's not just in India. So that
It's
is
a
what
global and
education is.
something very natural.
So education is more about being aware, and education will be more about being aware. So this is what I
Absolutely.
think is the need of the hour.
Absolutely, Mangi ma'am. I totally agree with this point. We cannot just decline the fact that something very brutal and very disturbing just took place a few days back, and we were not able to help it out. And yet, we are not able to. So, once everything, we will be only able to call ourselves educated when we'll be overcoming all these situations and all these problems, and it
So
will
I think
be a
the
safe.
laws need to be really, really strong for these things. And that is what the ones who have taken the education should actually use it. They have been trained, and they are educated now. For me, if I'm an educator, I should be working on the foundation. The ones who have studied law should take an action. So it's about taking actions. It's just not about policy. It has to be about implementation. Policy have been created. The only thing is that once the idea is going to be implemented, that is what we said now. The concept was given by Mahatma Gandhi, but the implementation was done by Shastri ji. That was the reason we are here, and that is the significance of both of them. So even if you learn from these very small incidences, you can be called an educated person. So it's about whatever you have to execute and exhaust it to its maximum potential, and that is what NEP is talking about. It's nothing
Absolutely.
new.
I also believe in this thing that until and unless action will not be taken, there would be no improvement. And as of now, let's pray and let's hope that justice will be delivered and the implementations, the actions will be taken real soon, so that the one thing that has been done, it would never be repeated. As a female and as a journalist, I really want to. I am really inspired with your words, Mangi, and moreover, uh, we have been an independent country for quite some time, yet we are suffering in one way or the other. Moreover, the females, when it comes to the safety, we are talking about the menstrual health in 2020, yet there are many factors that cannot be that people are yet not open to speak about on the open platforms. So until unless such things will be left behind and we'll pass it, we'll not be able to call ourselves as much educated as we think. So I I do not have really words much to describe it, yet I totally can relate, and I believe all the females out there would agree with the situation that as of now we are not helpless, but we are waiting for the justice to be served. So I would really have to wind this up as with the statement that uh, hoping that that the victim cannot be blamed here, but the guilty will be punished. This is our hope, and this is what we expect from our laws, so that we can start feeling safe on roads just by walking that we do not. So, thank you so much, Imangi, for bringing up such an important issue on such a special day. I hope our viewers will take a note of it, and we will work on it so we can go from good to better.
Thank you so very much for providing me the platform so that I can talk about it, because this is really, really important, Shruti. And justice, I don't know what you people mark it. I don't believe in justice until and unless we actually find a way for not this heinous thing, getting repeated in different parts of our country. So I believe, I wish that every mother and every educator can actually take a call and take it as a responsibility that we should nurture the community of responsible, sensible boys and girls, so that at least we can. Yes, of course, the motive is to go from good to better, but yes, with a sense of responsibility and belongingness, this is definitely going to work. And we need not to wait for anything. This is the time when we need to act. Everywhere, everything has been provided. God has been kind for the country, for us, those who are alive at this very day in on this very planet are genuinely blessed. So they should think that why are they alive, why they are there on earth. And it's not about basics, it is about contributing to the society. So whether you are a child or an adult or a old person, whatever you do, you should be doing things in a way that the action on the concepts should be taken. It is a simple funda that can be utilized everywhere in every zone, whether you are with your books or in the offices. It doesn't matter that wherever you are, पॉकेट कितनी भी बड़ी हो और कितनी भी छोटी हो मैटर नहीं करता. 0 से 1 के बीच में एक फ्रैक्शन जरूर होता है जो आप किसी और को दे सकते हो. So I think that is what my way of living and my idea of education is. And I am glad that we have been given with the um, guidelines from through NEP, and education is definitely going to reform and transform. And I wish that we can meet with different issues, better issues to talk about, better concerns to talk about the next time we meet. Thank you so much for calling me here. Namaskar.
The pleasure is all ours. So thank you so much, viewers, for your presence. This was Shruti Anand, journalist at K12 News, present with Ms. Himangi Arora, director, Nirmukta, Nurturing Curious Minds. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more interesting sessions for K12 Talks 2020.